Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Craft and Coffee with Joe Mama. So thank you all for being here. I know it's been a little while since we have been together here, but I've taken a week off from work. And for those who don't know, when I take a week off from work, it also means to take a week off from any kind of video editing because it's just the way my work situation is. I do my video editing and recording at work, so here I am. So yeah, we're back here in the Craft and Coffee server, which is kind of funny because that in itself, if you know me, is a bit of a misnomer because I have had approximately 0 drops of coffee since I have started this server. Done a lot of crafting, but not much in the way of coffee consumption. You know, I've been in the Army. I have spent 20 years in the Army and 6 years doing night shifts at the White House. And at no point during that time did I consume any coffee or, what's the other thing? They always told me there's 2 things. If you're going to be a true soldier, my first supervisors I ever had, they told me, well, you got to learn to drink coffee and you have to learn to play spades. Well, I have done neither. I don't play spades and I don't drink coffee, but I did learn how to play euchre. So, but yeah. Anyway, so no coffee for me. Thank you very much. Anyway. So, as the title suggests, I kind of need your help on something. But before we get to that, I want to give you an update of what I have been doing on the server. I have been building, even though I haven't been recording. So let's go kind of walk through. You kind of can take a look and see that things are a little bit different here, if you know where we are at. So, we are back here at the Villager Trading Center, which at the time was not finished. And it still isn't finished yet, but it's pretty close. But I kind of want to show you how things have gone. First of all, you can see that we have a new floor, and per one commenter suggestion, and thank you for that by the way, is I changed the block that I used for the sorting machine, and he suggested stone or iron block, which I get. With redstone that looks great, but I didn't want to use stone since that's what I use for the floor. And so this thing would just kind of like blend right in. And of course, iron is so precious to me right now. I can't afford to be building it out of iron blocks, but I get it. So I decided to just kind of go with something that fits the look. So I just used the sandstone, smooth sandstone, and threw some wood in there for accent. I don't know. It looks okay. I might play with it a little bit, see if something looks better. But anyway, yes, there's a sorting machine. And also, you notice we've got villagers here. We've got some librarians, and you notice, let's see, this guy's got a looting 3 book, he's feather falling 1, he's multi-shot, which I couldn't care less about. But notice he's given us price discounts. And also we got efficiency 5 books for 1 emerald, I might add. Impaling 3, not that I need that, but for 4. If we want to screw around with fortune and make it into a fortune 3, we, 1 emerald and 1 book. We got that. So what we did is, also, I'll show you how that works if you don't know already. We've got some farmers over here also offering us discounts. I mean, one emerald for 1 watermelon, 1 emerald for 1 pumpkin. I will take it. So yeah, same here. So he's offering us discounts. And the reason for that is our little zombie over here. We captured him. Got Bill Murray. Hopefully you know the reference. So I captured him, and I keep him here out of the sun for use with converting the villagers. He converts the villagers, and then we heal them back, and then they give us discounts. And the primary reason for that is this guy. He's got a mending book for 12 emeralds, but now he's offering it to us for 1 emerald, and we will take it. Ain't that right, buddy? Yeah. So with that, and then our farmers down there, we've got a nice emerald farm and basically a mending book farm for pittance. So I'm loving this. But anyway, take a look. Let's take a look outside, and I'll kind of show you around this place. Don't mind the railroad tracks everywhere. They're just for moving villagers around. Okay, so there we go. This is the way the thing is looking so far. We've got flowers planted on the outside, which I think is looking pretty awesome. Loving the way that's looking. And also we have a second layer going on. If you didn't catch that, we have a second layer under construction at this moment, and I'm going to explain to you the reason for that. And that's kind of the reason that it's kind of based on the reason I need help from you guys. Oh, also, before we get to that, let's take a look at this. So, in my effort to earn emeralds and get farmers trading stuff, we've got a little bit of a melon farm going. It's not huge, but it keeps us going. Plus, over here, got a little bit of a sugarcane farm going on. And again, it's not huge, but it will get the job done. It's getting us quite a bit of sugarcane so far, and it discharges into the stream, the same stream as the melon farm does. So let's take a walk. Oh, dadgummit. And I'll show you this, where it discharges, so you can kind of see what's going on. Added a stairwell, an additional stairwell. So at least we can go here and visit the product of the melon farm and sugarcane farm uninterrupted. So we've got obviously lots of pumpkins, lots of melons, and lots of sugarcane in here. All we need to do is come assemble the melons into watermelons, and well, assemble the slices into watermelons, pick up the pumpkins, and we got other additional items to trade. But we have a problem. This is all great, but we have a little bit of a problem. Let's see if we can see some results here. Nope, still good. There's nothing here. But over the past week, I've been dealing with a persistent problem. And what would happen is carrots would end up in this chest, in this refuse chest. Now, carrots are being sorted right here. Okay, so this slice of the sorting machine takes care of the carrots, and the carrots come down through here. Okay, so I didn't understand why in the world the carrots would even end up over here when they have a place to go. It's not happening to the potatoes, you notice, but it's happening to the carrots. This is the potato line right here. The potatoes end up right here. And of course we got carrots right there. So I was thinking that somehow the arrangement of the hoppers was not quite right, and maybe because if I had the carrot filter right under here, I was thinking that if the carrots came down into this filter and turned the corner, that maybe that wasn't enough time for them to end up down into the filter, and they would just get shot out here to the refuse bin. I don't know. It was a thought, and I was wrong, of course. So I got to thinking, well, something must be wrong. Some carrots are somehow ending in here, and the only way that could happen is if it's happening ahead of this, or if it's happening downstream from this carrot filter. Why is that? I don't know. So carrots are coming in here, one would presume, but that can't be the case because the filter's not catching it. And I'm not talking I was getting a few carrots. I was getting stacks. After a day or two, I'd come look in here and there'd be like 2 or 3 stacks of carrots. So then I did an inspection on my villagers and I discovered something. And this problem still persists. Now, let's take a look. See if I can do this. Okay. So this is one of the plots for the potatoes. And this farmer right here has been planting potatoes. And look at this. So is this farmer. However, take a look. There's carrots in there. And I just saw them. There's carrots in here. Now you say to yourself, oh, well, you just need to isolate the villager and have him discharge all of his stuff, have him plant it, and then harvest it as he plants it. I've done that. I've done everything I can think of, short of changing the villager out. I may have to do that. I may have to just sacrifice him and pick another villager, but I don't think that's it. I don't think he's been. I let him alone for weeks, or Minecraft weeks, like 20, 30 nights. I let him wander around in here with. There were no crops in here whatsoever. It was freshly tilled land, and he discharged a whole bunch of potatoes. He planted potatoes. I harvested them up, and then he started planting carrots, and he planted like 50 or 60 of them, and then he stopped planting, period, completely. And like I said, for days, he just would not plant anything. He just wandered around, and he wouldn't trade anything because there was presumably nothing in his inventory. I'd cleaned him out. So, and I did the same thing to this guy, to the other potato farmer. So both of them had carrot infections. And then both of them went through quarantine until they had no carrots left. And then I cleaned him out until he had nothing. And then I fed him potatoes, and immediately he started planting potatoes. And there were no more carrots. And that went well for, I would say, several more Minecraft days. And then carrots started showing up again. But interestingly enough, and it's only the potato farmers. The carrot farmers have had absolutely zero potatoes show up. So I'm of the opinion that we have some sort of cross-infection going on. Like maybe the carrot farmers are giving their potatoes to their villagers, and are giving their carrots to the villagers, and but some are spilling over to the potato farmers. Could that be? I honestly don't know. Somehow, maybe this villager is getting thrown things, but this villager here is picking it up and then trading it back to this guy, perhaps? I don't know, but somehow carrots are making their way over here, and carrots are not making their way, or potatoes are not making their way into the carrot farm. So, my appeal to you is, I don't know if you guys want to build this in your own world or your own creative world and just experiment with it. I have been racking my brain, and I'm thinking maybe that this design is not as fault-free as I hoped. That maybe the close proximity of those villagers there are enabling some cross-contamination between the crops. I'm suspecting that could be the case. I don't know. Anyway, that's my appeal to you guys. I'm hoping that somebody can help me solve this problem. But in the meantime, I can mitigate it in a different way. I'm not going to pull these carrots up. I'm going to let them be, and I'll explain why. Holy crud. We might have to sit out the night. Okay, the night has passed. We've gotten past all the bad guys roaming around outside, so let's talk about how we can mitigate this problem for the time being until we know exactly what's going on. And maybe it's unsolvable. Maybe even if we knew, we couldn't solve it. But I'm thinking there is a workaround, and I think the workaround is that whole level needs to be either carrots or potatoes, and I'm leaning toward carrots, seeing as how I don't seem to have any problem keeping potatoes away from the carrots, but keeping carrots out of the potatoes, yeah, it just ain't happening. So what I think we're going to do is turn those first 4 plots on the first level into just carrot plots, and then the one above will be nothing but potatoes. But that creates a bit of a sorting issue, and that issue is that when you get a lot of crops like that coming down into these pipes, into these hoppers, they have a tendency to clog, and then when they go through the filter. So what I'm thinking is that, seeing as how the harvesting of crops and the transfer of the crops into the filter only happens at a certain time of the day. It might be very busy for a moment, but then for the rest of the day, nothing is going to happen. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, first of all, these need to be separated, I think, or not. Yeah, I think they'll be separated. And I think they'll all come down into a stack of chests and hoppers so that they all feed into the hopper. They all feed through 4 feeds into a chest, and then that chest acts as a buffer. and it absorbs everything that gets harvested, even if the sorting machine can't work that fast. And then, over the rest of the day, over the rest of the MineCraft day, the crops will be sorted as nothing gets fed into the chest. And I want to see how that works. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, first of all, let's set up our scaffolding here. And let's go ahead, get a buffer chest in place. Oh, you know what? This is why people don't like scaffolding. Because when you go to squat, you actually descend, and that's kind of a pain in the neck. But you know what? We can still use it as a ladder. So let's set that there as a helper block. And let's go ahead, put our chest in place, double chest. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to feed, I would say, at least 2 feeds into it. That's what we're going to do. In fact, we might as well take this down. I find it telling that no potatoes came down with that. No potatoes were stuck in that hopper. That's interesting. Okay, so we've got a bunch of those. Do we have any stuck in here? Yes, we do. Okay. And let's put 2 feeds into it. Why do you do that? Okay, and then this. And then let's go ahead and put a couple more chests in here to increase the size of the buffer. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, carrots are already going in there. So now let's see if we can get the potatoes over here. All right, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 or 5 hoppers total. So we're going to go ahead and make 3 more. It's going to look a little bit like a hopper nightmare up here, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay, 1, 2, oh, dadgummit. No, no, bad. Where'd you go? Okay, and then 1 more coming in from the side. That ought to do it. Right? I think. Oh, 1 more. Okay. 1 more. We have a gap. Right there. And are we going to be able to do this? I don't know. Okay, why are carrots building up there? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Because this is the potato side, and there's no potatoes in there. How very interesting. Okay, so 1 more thing. I want to make 1 more hopper. I don't know that this is going to make much of a difference. Put it right there. Oops. there. Okay, just to cover the bottom of the entire bottom of the chest. Okay, so I think that concludes the construction of our buffer. I think that that should be enough to take on the sudden inrush of crops during the harvesting time of the day, and that should be enough to hold them and just distribute them throughout the rest of the day. And hopefully it'll be close to empty by the time the next harvesting session shows up. We'll see. But I think for now that's going to do it. And what I'm going to do in the interim is I'm going to go ahead and populate that next layer with farmers, and that will be the potato crop. No carrots. And hopefully that eliminates cross-contamination, because the one layer will have nothing but carrots, and then the layer above it will have nothing but potatoes, and there shouldn't be any intertrading of the villagers from different levels. At least I don't think so. So we'll try it. We'll see if it works. And again, if you have ideas on any other reasons carrots might mysteriously show up in these villagers' inventories to be planted, when I've taken every measure, again, except killing them and except swapping them out, but I shouldn't need to do that. I believe that they're going to plant everything in their inventory, and then they'll have nothing, and that's what I did. Am I wrong? Hey, I'm open to learn. So anyway, hopefully you guys can find that a nice challenge, and I hope also you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'd sure appreciate it. And anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.